Welcome to the chase, where this sets a thrill. Ben and John are here, making time stand still. Diving deep, where others just pretend. They're your guides on this journey, chasing descent. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In the maze of facts, they find their way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. They laugh, they probe, they take no sides. Through rabbit holes they take their strides. With wit and banter, they're heaven sent. Ben and John, chasing descent. So hit subscribe, don't be content. Join the chase, be omnipresent. With Ben and John, no time is misspent. On the trail with chasing descent. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find their way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find a way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. They laugh, they probe, they take no sides. Through rabbit holes, they take their strides. With wit and banter, they're heaven sent. Ben and John, chasing descent. So hit subscribe, don't be content. Join the chase, be omnipresent. With Ben and John, no time is misspent. On the trail with chasing descent. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find their way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find a way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. They laugh, they probe, they take no sides. Through rabbit holes, they take their strides. With wit and banter, they're heaven sent. Ben and John, chasing descent.
Hello and good afternoon, evening or morning, whenever you choose to watch, if you choose to watch at all. If you don't choose to watch, then obviously I'm saying good morning, good evening or good afternoon to absolutely nobody. Shut up, John. Right, let's get on with the chase. Today we're going to have a look at the sport. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the sport is effectively Formula 1 because I don't really know anything else about other sports. Maybe a little bit of rugby, but I don't think there are any other sports worth watching. Women's beach volleyball. Other than that, I can't think of anything offhand. And it's been a cracker today. We've had an absolute excellent session at the qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. One of the tracks I've actually been to and visited during a Grand Prix. In fact, it was the weekend that David Coulthard's private jet crashed, and he was uninjured, yet both the pilots died, which was unfortunate. And he participated in the race that weekend. His jet crashed on the way out there. So, there's some useless piece of information that you perhaps did or did not know. Hi Julie, good to see you. Thank you for coming along. I know this is a strange time, but I've just watched the qualifying and it's been a cracker. So, if you don't want to know the result of the qualifying and you want to watch it first, then go away in the nicest possible way and come back later. But please do come back. And if when you do come back, like, share and subscribe. That costs you nothing, takes seconds of your time, and gives us a boost in the algorithm and helps everybody out. So that's all we would ever ask of you, other than the fact you could send us cash. No, I never said that. But apart from that, if you ever feel like the need to donate, then it's on the screen. Support us at ko-fi.com/Chasing Descent. Anyway, let's go back to this morning before the qualifying even started, because we had free practice 3. And the practice sessions tend to be a bit boring. I sometimes put them on in the background while I'm doing other stuff, like, for instance, making shorts and things like that. And I've got more shorts coming. I've got a whole series on Burniston now. But apart from that, hi Adam, good to see you. So this morning, it got a bit feisty in free practice 3. Cars crashing into each other. Lance Stroll had a go at Hamilton, and Leclerc, Charles Leclerc had a go at our homeboy Lando Norris, which is a bit, OTT. Both of them got reprimands. So Leclerc and Lance Stroll got reprimands. Lance Stroll just shouldn't be on the grid. He just shouldn't. He's rubbish. He's just rubbish. But Aston Martin not doing well, but we'll come back to Aston Martin because we've got more information about them. And it looks like I can't say yes or no, but I may have been right. I'm not usually wrong, but I may have been right again. Anyway, so that was this morning. And everybody avoided grid penalties. So the only person that's got a grid penalty is Perez, and he doesn't really count anyway because, let's face it, he's pretty rubbish this year. I don't know what. He signed a contract with Red Bull, and then he's just thought, oh, well, I really don't need to try this year. So I'm just going to be rubbish. I think he could end up losing his seat. But hey, you know what? He's only got himself to blame. The qualifying itself proceeded fairly normally, apart from the two Astons, which were pretty poor. I think Stroll's near the back of the field. In fact, where is Stroll? He's 14th. Yeah, they managed to get into qualifying too, but that was it. Alonso made it to 11th, which isn't great at all. So, I mean, they out-qualified the kick Saubers, and that's about it. Even the Alpines, and we've got information on Alpine as well, but even the Alpines out-qualified the Aston Martin, so I'm quite disappointed there. But we might see a change in Aston Martin, especially come 2026 when Honda come on as an engine partner when they build the new car for the new regulations. Today's qualifying, though, it came down to the wire, and for some reason, Hamilton... Remember last week and a couple of weeks ago where we were all talking about Hamilton being sabotaged and calling it out and saying, well, he's always like 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths down on George when it comes to the last qualifying session. Why is this? And Toto's going, no, we would not do such a thing. We would never hamper one of our drivers. But suddenly, Hamilton's on the ball today and his car is faster than George's. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm saying nothing. Toto. But anyway, it looked like normal service because, and this is what Hamilton used to do as well when he was world champion. He used to moan about his car all weekend and then go out and, destroy the opposition. He would be, so far ahead in the final qualifying that nobody could get near him. And Max has been trying to do that as well because he's been moaning about his car all weekend again, like he did in Miami, like he did, and then he comes and sticks it on the pole. But he didn't stick it on the pole today. He tried. He even got a tow down the straight from his teammate Perez, which is worth 5 kilometers an hour. Now, when you see the length of the straight at Barcelona, that's actually a substantial advantage. So that tows him all the way down the straight and gives him, a cracking entry into the first corner, and then they've got a flat out turn 3. So, he should get a really big advantage from that, and it protects his tyres because he's just going faster in a straight line. But so he puts it on provisional pole, and then everybody has a pop at him, and the Ferraris seem to be back on form. So the Sainz puts in a good time, then Leclerc puts in a better time, and then from nowhere, Lewis Hamilton, bang! Next thing you know, he's second, and it's like, wow, Lewis Hamilton has done it. George Russell, he comes out and he's behind Hamilton. How far behind Hamilton? He's 3/10 behind Hamilton. 3/10, 3/10, 300ths. That's still a lot in Formula One. You know, at this stage of the game, because you know the whole top of the end of the grid is no, he's not 3/10, you clown. He's 2 thousandths behind behind Hamilton. That's literally the thickness of a ball hair. So yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong result. He was 3/10 behind Hamilton in qualifying 2, but in qualifying 3, he is literally the thickness of a ball hair behind him. But Hamilton's still in front of him, which is a turnaround for the books, and you know, a bit strange considering we've all been saying, you know, why is Hamilton being hampered? Has he been hampered? Hamilton's been saying he's been hampered, but then he's saying, well, I'm saying nothing about it, you know. It's only to be expected. So then Verstappen, who is still on pole, he puts in a pretty respectable time of a 1:11.4, which was like 3/10 ahead of 3/10 ahead of Hamilton. And then our boy Lando. And I said McLaren are literally on fire because they had a fire yesterday in the hospitality suite. So apparently some fire started in between the 2 floors, and the place filled up with smoke. Everybody got evacuated. One guy gets sent to hospital, but he's okay, probably just for smoke inhalation. I'm surmising, I don't know. But the fire brigade were in and out. So I think these things are broken up and built, you know, they're built up and broken down every week for a year. So I'm surmising that something's gone wrong with an electrical connection under the floor, but it's just an assumption. I'm not a fireman, thank God. Anyway, moving on. So Lando, our boy Lando, goes out and puts in the ultimate perfect lap. Ultimately perfect lap. He puts in a 1:11.383, which is a good chunk ahead of Max, which is surprising. And Lando's been looking good. He's been looking good all year, to be fair, and he's just looking better and better. And then they give us the juiciness that may happen tomorrow. It might rain. And if it rains, that's good as well, because McLaren and Norris are pretty damn good in the rain as well. So I think there's a good chance. There's a good chance here for Norris. A good chance. So I'd like to see him do it again. He's already won. He's won once this year, hasn't he? So that's the qualifying. So we've got Lando on pole, Verstappen second, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly in 7th, Sergio Perez in 8th, Esteban Ocon in 9th, and Oscar Piastri in 10, with Alonso bringing up 11th. The rest of them don't really count. Lance Stroll's down in 14th. He doesn't count either. The RBs did really bad. Ricciardo and Tsunoda are they didn't even get out of qualifying 3, so they've really gone off the boil compared to Canada. But let's look at what else has been going on. What else has been going on in the Formula One world? Because things are changing. Adrian Newey has now apparently had a private tour of Aston Martin's factory. Now, I said this was always on the cards because Aston Martin's factory is, 25-minute drive from Adrian's house? So it's not like having to relocate to Italy if you go to Ferrari. Lance Stroll has apparently put in a big offer. So the words being bandied about are around about 30 million. Yeah, 30 million a year. That's a salary and a half. I mean, it's widely believed that Adrian's on 10 million a year at Red Bull. But the man, let's face it, the man's not moving because of money. He's moving because Christian Horner's obviously pissed him off with his shenanigans. And whether there's any substance to these shenanigans or not, it puts the whole team in a bad light. And then there's the bad blood between Christian and Jos Verstappen. So you've got and Helmut Marko to a degree, because although they all used to be friends, I think Christian and Jos just tolerate each other. Jos Verstappen is the original Angry Dutchman, and has quite a fiery temper, and he's obviously taken a dislike to well, there might be something slightly more in that. Jos may have taken a liking to the same young lady that Christian did. Now, this is just pure gossip, speculation, and for the purposes of suing me, go ahead, because I have no money. In fact, if you sued me, I could probably make more money than you could take. But apart from that, there's a chance. There's a chance there that, or that's the word on the street, as they say, that maybe the Angry Dutchman was a tad jealous. And that's why those things got leaked. But anyway, that's all hearsay and in the past now, isn't it? Well, it isn't, because let's face it, Red Bull has been tarnished. Adrian Newey is leaving. We'll see what happens with the Angry Dutch. I still suspect that Max will leave come the new regulations in 2026, because although technically Red Bull will have a manufacturer partner, they won't, because Ford is there in an advisory capacity and Red Bull are going to be building their own engines. And the word on the street is that the Red Bull engine is severely lacking in power. Whereas the Mercedes one's meant to be good, and I think the Honda one's going to be okay. Now let's go to Alpine, because they've like thrown the toys out the pram now. They're apparently going to sack Renault, and you go, hold on a minute, how can a Formula One team that's owned by Renault sack itself? So apparently they're thinking about sacking in the Renault engine and buying one off of someone like Mercedes or Ferrari or whatever. Ah? Yeah. So Alpine could go down the customer engine route, therefore they no longer really become a works team. And that's not what was sold to Gasly, because Gasly's been knocking his pan in for them. And he always thought, with Renault being there, there's always a chance of going to come back. Because remember, Renault used to be a really good team. I mean, Fernando Alonso won his world championship with Benetton, and that was effectively Renault. So that's what's happening there. And they're obviously not enamored with the current management structure, because the bad man of Formula One, the guy that was supposed to be banned for life from Formula One, and I'll need to do a bit of digging because I don't know how he's got around this, but apparently he's coming back. Flavio Briatore, the guy that masterminded Crashgate in Singapore when, oh, good God, I can't even remember the boy's name. So one of the Renault drivers stuffed it into the wall so that Alonso could win enough points to win the championship. Well, enough points to win that race, and ultimately won the championship that year. So I think this was done. I don't know. Allegedly, this was done without Alonso's knowledge. Now, I like Alonso. And I know he likes to win, and I know he likes to win at all honourable costs. So I'm tempted to think that it was done without his knowledge, and Flavio did it behind the scenes. But having said that, Flavio, who was banned by Formula One from being anywhere near Formula One, don't get into the paddock or anything, is still Fernando Alonso's manager. What does that tell us? Well, maybe tells us nothing, but there you go. So the bad boy of Formula One is coming back in an advisory capacity to Renault. and a managerial advisory capacity. So there we go. Adrian Newey possibly going to Aston Martin. Ferrari apparently being a bit taken aback by the size of the money getting flung at it now and maybe having second thoughts. And you've got to remember, Adrian Newey's what, 60, 65 or something? So does he want to move to Italy? Does he want to relocate to Italy? I mean, I would. But then again, does he have family here? Is he settled here? He's got plenty of money, it doesn't matter where he really lives. But I think he's quite settled in England. I think he is as I said, the quintessential English gentleman. And I think Adrian will want to stay. And I definitely think Aston Martin is looking like the better and better alternative. Now, in 2 weeks' time, because next week it is Austria for the Red Bull Ring, and then after that, at the beginning of July, it will be Silverstone, the British Grand Prix, which are getting a bit of a doing in the press just now, because the promoter for the British Grand Prix, which has not sold out, which is unusual because normally the British Grand Prix sells out. But it hasn't sold all its tickets. It had a go at Max Verstappen in a kind of backhand way by saying, well, when you've got one guy that wins everything all the time, then people tend to get turned off and don't bother wanting to buy tickets. And to give Max his due, he is fairly direct at answering people, and he just come back and goes, well, maybe if a promoter is moaning about not selling all his tickets, he should maybe look at the circumstances around which he's promoting the race. That's a summation of what Max said, but it's more or less, look to yourself. And he's right, because Silverstone's really expensive. It's a really expensive race. And why is it really expensive? Because the facilities are not any better than anywhere else. In fact, in some cases, they're quite remarkably poorer than some other Grand Prix tracks. So I can't understand why it's so expensive, other than the fact that maybe the promoters are very, very greedy. And yeah, that could be it. 500 quid for a single race day ticket. 500 quid for a 1 day ticket. Now you can fly to Hungary, watch 3 days of racing, and be in a hotel for much the same price as it costs to go to that's what it would cost to go to Silverstone for 1 day. Maybe that kind of starts to put it in perspective. Apparently, if you ever want to go and see a Grand Prix these days, apparently the cheapest Grand Prix is China. Probably not going to be the cheapest to get to, though, but it's the cheapest one to get into once you get there. I myself, and I told you I used to have money. I don't anymore, but I used to. So I have been to 3 Grand Prix. I have been to Barcelona. I've been to Spa in Belgium in the forest, and it was damp, and I did get to walk down Eau Rouge, which is incredibly steep. And until you've been there, you have no idea how steep it is. You cannot tell anything from the television pictures. It's just quite incredibly steep. So I've been to that, and also I've been to the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne, and that was fantastic. You bought a race ticket as a foreigner, and you got into this kind of special lounge that you were allowed to go into, that gave you drink and you could watch TVs there while you were having your drink. You had grandstand seating, and your ticket paid for all your public transport. You just showed the ticket, and you could go on the train or the bus or the tram. What a freaking setup! What a setup! It was absolutely fantastic. But I don't know what it's like now. That was quite a considerable amount of years ago. 22 years ago, I think, actually. My God, that was 22 years ago. Jeez, oh. But yeah, it was a great experience. Great experience. Australia's somewhere it's worth visiting. I probably wouldn't want to live there. It's kind of halfway house between Britain and America, except it always seems as if everybody's asking you a question all the time because of that funny way in which they up talk at the end. But anyway, so is Silverstone too greedy for its own good? Is that what it's doing? Is it gouging the public? Probably, yeah, it probably is because it's trading on its reputation as a home of Formula One, and Britain being Britain and we've got 3 drivers on Formula One at the moment. So yeah, it's probably trading on those reputations and trying to gouge the public for as much as it can. Apart from Las Vegas, which really gouges the public, they just gone nuts because their tickets are like 3 times the price of a Silverstone ticket, which is crazy. I mean, you think Las Vegas would make it relatively cheap because they make so much freaking money off the casinos and things. So Williams engines. Williams doesn't make engines, guys. Williams uses a Mercedes customer engine. So at the moment, Mercedes supply the engines for Williams and they supply the engines for Aston Martin. I don't think so. Yeah, Williams and Aston Martin use Mercedes customer engines. McLaren uses a Mercedes customer engine, and obviously Mercedes uses their own engine. So the manufacturer, you always think, has got an edge because they make the engine. So Mercedes probably have a slightly better engine than the one they give to their customers. But McLaren have done a fantastic job on the car, and it's really shifting these days. So there we go. The only other engine suppliers in Formula One at the moment are Renault with their own engine, obviously. Honda, who had pulled out just before Max Verstappen won the World Championship. Honda decided they were going to leave Formula One as the supplier with Red Bull. They supplied Red Bull with their engines, and they thought, well, we're going to leave Formula One because it's not really working out for us. Max Verstappen wins the championship, and Honda went, oh, actually, well, we might stay. And by this point, Red Bull had already signed a contract with Ford. Therefore, Honda couldn't stay with Red Bull. So they Aston Martin, snapped them up. And that's an astute move because, McLaren and Honda had a fantastic partnership. Red Bull, Honda have had a fantastic partnership. It was, and to be fair, it was Red Bull, Renault that had the partnership under Vettel, where they made all the wins. But then they kind of fell out with Renault when they changed the engine regs a few years ago. Renault's engine wasn't as good as it could have been. But yeah, everybody teamed. They all team with all different people. It's just a question of trying to get the best deal and the best engine you can. Haas uses Ferrari engines. Sauber what does Sauber use? What does Sauber use? Do they use Mercedes engines? No, Sauber uses Ferrari engines. Sorry. Haas uses Ferrari engines, and Ferrari uses Ferrari engines. So that's the 3 Ferrari teams, effectively. Who else we got? I've probably covered them all now, have we? Because you've got Ferrari, Mercedes, and then Red Bull. Yeah, RB uses Honda engine as well. That's the Racing Bulls, Ricardo, and what's his name, Tsunoda. Right. Any questions, anyone? But that's about where we are with Formula One. It's been a good day for Britain. We are on pole with Lando Norris, and we're looking forward to the Grand Prix tomorrow. I'll probably do a small stream tomorrow at some point. I am just catching up on how things are going. I'm not going to go into the news. There's a couple of things in the news that we could talk about, but I'll leave that until tomorrow and we'll have a more general chat tomorrow. So thank you. Thank you for attending this. And as always, it's been great for you. Take care.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build